I love this first reading. I think it is excellent. I think it's really, really wonderful. Great for us to listen to. I think the imagery of what's happening is amazing. But before we get to it, let's have a look at the gospel. Because, again, it's worth imagining what's going on here. Jesus is walking with his disciples through cornfields. His disciples are hungry. You know, have you been hungry before? Maybe in the West we're not so accustomed to be hungry, but when you've been hungry, when you're hungry, and as you're walking, food is right there, and you're hungry, and it's there, and you can just pick it up and eat it. You know, you pick it up and eat it because you're hungry. But the Pharisees don't have any eye for that. They do not care that people are hungry. They do not care that people might suffer as long as they follow the law. If you do exactly what the law tells you, that's the important. If it kills you while you're doing it, it doesn't matter. If you have to starve to death because it's a Sabbath, too bad. And there is no mercy, no compassion. It's just an iron rod. And Jesus calls them to mercy. And in that first reading, we see mercy. I don't know if you noticed it, but what we heard in that first reading was mercy. So Hezekiah, the king, is sick and he's dying. He's told, you will die. And he turns to God. He turns to God in repentance. He turns to God in prayer. He turns to God in his need. The Lord has already said, you're going to die. But he still turns to God. And God sees the prayer of his heart and changes his mind. Now, does he change his mind? But he sees the prayer of his heart. And what happens to Hezekiah? Hezekiah, you're about to die, but in 3 days' time, you'll be walking up to the temple. Not only that, not only will I heal you now, but I'm going to give you another 15 years because you've turned to me with tears, with the prayer of your heart. And Hezekiah, I'm not only going to give you 15 extra years, I'm going to free you from the power of your enemies. Because you turn to me with repentant and tearful heart. Lord, how am I going to know this? How am I going to know it's going to become true? Okay. I'm not only going to heal you so that you can walk up to the temple in 3 days' time. I'm not only going to give you 15 years more because you turn to me. I'm not only going to free you from the power of enemies, I'm going to move the universe for you. I'm going to shift creation for you. You know, physicists, I understand that, you know, there's a law, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Did we learn that at school? Every action. And so what I understand is if you drop a bag of sugar onto the ground here on Earth, molecules and smaller particles will move on the other side of the universe. The miracle that God worked for Hezekiah, he moved, the sun was setting so that the shadow was growing onto the steps, and he made the shadows move down 10 steps. To do that, he would have had to move the planet Earth, stop its rotation, slow it down, probably had to move the sun. Now the sun is actually moving within a galaxy which will have moved the galaxy that we're in. The galaxy is part of the universe, so it would have moved everything in the universe because it's all traveling and moving. And so for Hezekiah, who had turned to the Lord with a repentant heart, God moved creation. Did he deserve that? No. But God did it anyway. That is mercy.